Welcome to the Paul Has Fun podcast. I'm Paul, and on this podcast, I dig into my hobbies. I also document my life and interests. Thank you so much for spending time with me. This is my spoiler review for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. First off, it's Sony Animation's biggest financial success to date. This particular movie has almost doubled, not there yet, but almost there, the global box office of the initial Oscar-winning film. Movie pundits say that 2018's Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie in this trilogy, its run on Netflix helped this unique take on Miles Morales' story grow a large cult following, which helped to lead to this current movie's winning box office. Vulture.com interviewed 4 of the animators anonymously. They wanted to remain anonymous anyway, who worked on this sequel and said it was a demanding production, working upwards of 11-hour days, up to 100 artists quitting throughout the production, and having to start from scratch 5 times due to pandemic-related starts, stops, and editorial issues with Phil Lord. Lord and Miller are the producers of this film. My thoughts on the film? It was my favorite theatrical release that came in June 2023, with several other notable releases the same month, such as Transformers, The Flash, and Indiana Jones, which I'll be doing reviews for in the coming weeks. It made me yearn for more big-budget superhero animated films. Imagine an animated Flash movie or an animated big Marvel movie that was in the same DCEU or MCU. I'd be open to that. Visually, I noticed it more so in this movie than in the first, is the mixing of the art styles is incredible. It's like a comic book which comes to life. And examples, the scene near the end when Gwen is talking to her father and the background and turns into this pastel kind of colors to convey this emotion and that's about to come out in this scene, right? That's one example. The other one is when Spider-Punk is introduced, and his appearance is this collage alphabet style, which is often associated with punk rock, right? The shading on Miles' face when he has to convey like a dramatic scene, or he's like talking to his parents, you get these bend dots is what it's called, and that's like something that it's from way back in the day from comic books itself. Also, the big bad in the movie, the Spot, when he's monologuing, you see sometimes in his design like stick figures, which I thought was super cool. Once upon a time, I had aspirations of wanting to draw comic books, and I remember buying Stan Lee and John Buscema's. Both of these gentlemen have passed on, and thank the good Lord above for their contributions to this planet while they were alive. They published a book back in the day called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and I remember as a young teen just like spending a summer and more so just like going over this book and drawing out the lessons that this book taught. And the reason why I'm saying that is because these 2 movies and the third one that's to come, it's really a love letter to comic book art, you know, in terms of all these different styles that they mix together to present this movie. I've never seen anything like that before, and that I just think is so cool. Other notes from the movie: anytime you throw in moms and dads relating to their kids and the kids wanting, their parents' support, I always get emotional over that stuff. Maybe that's like a psychological, emotional thing with me, a thing I maybe have talked about in therapy, and maybe I need to continue to talk about in therapy. Also, the integration of the past live-action Spider films. Like I said, this is a spoiler review, so there are some spoilers in this review, and this being one of the big ones. The integration of the past Spider-Man films, such as you see clips of Andrew Garfield in this movie. You see clips of Tobey Maguire in this movie. You even get, what's his name again? Donald Glover's The Prowler from the Tom Holland movie. So it's to say that this movie taking place in the Spider-Verse, those other live-action Sony Spider-Man films are included in this, and I thought that was super cool. It just ties everything kind of together there. Fast action, exciting and vibrant action, and characters communicating with each other. The film is very contemporary, very much a hip-hop style, and me being a New Yorker, Generation X, hip-hop culture is kind of ingrained in us in a way, inside of our DNA, right? Because it's just kind of like you grew up with it, right? Characters such as Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man 2099, a motorcycling Spider-Woman, with her voice done by Issa Rae, and also Prabhakar, which I've never heard of this character until I actually watched this movie. They were intriguing, and I wouldn't mind TV shows or spin-offs of these characters. Now, to my criticisms about the movie, this movie did what a movie did 20 years ago. And it's incredible that this movie came out 20 years ago, 2003, which was Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, the third part in the trilogy, where it just kind of went on and it had like multiple endings. And that's what is a criticism, which in a way, not a criticism because I was so into the movie, but it just is like this movie just keeps going on. And you think, hey, this could have ended already like a few scenes ago. But Across the Spider-Verse does do this. It has like this extended ending. So just be aware of that if you haven't seen the movie yet. And also, I didn't see that there was an epilepsy warning because of the flashing lights and the bright colors in the movie. I was thinking, just from being a gamer for so many years and seeing this in front of a lot of games before you start to play a game, is an epilepsy warning. With the bright lights and big colors, it can be triggering to some folks that have epilepsy. Overall, this animated lane is a fantastic way to tell the Miles Morales story. And I prefer that it stays in this animated lane, but with the popularity of this character, it's inevitable that he comes into live action, which may not be a bad thing. This movie was a 9 out of 10 for me. As always, want to hear what you have to say, what you think. Please post your thoughts, comments on the blog at paulhasfun.com. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for listening. Check out the video version where I include like little graphics. Same kind of a script. I wrote this out, but it includes graphics of what I'm talking about and stuff like that. But you can find that and everything else at paulhasfun.com. I'll catch you in the next one.